On June 9th, 15 members from FUMC Brandon traveled to the Dominican Republic to share God's abundant love with the villages of Bombita and LaHoya. On the way to Bombita, we stopped in the capital at the Mercado to do a little shopping. While we were there, several of the young men who grew up in the orphanage that our church partnered with surprised us. It was so rewarding to see what well-educated young men they had become. It is always nice to have affirmation that what we are doing has made a difference. We were excited to arrive in Bombita in time for a wonderful dinner, but not nearly as excited as the children who were waiting for us. We played games and dominoes late into the evening as we renewed old friendships. Sunday morning, we were privileged to attend worship at Reverend Connie DeLeo's church in La Jolla. We rejoiced with them as they celebrated the conversion of 9 of their youth during worship. Lunch with all the youth followed, along with some great games led by Connie. These activities were held on the second floor, which is her apartment, and a very large multifunctional room which one of our previous work teams helped to build. As always, it was an incredibly inspirational and wonderful experience for all of us. Sunday evening, we were blessed to worship in a little church in the village. Fermin is the pastor, and he is a young man that grew up in the village and feels that God has led him to witness to the youth of the village. It is a very small building where there is little air ventilation, and the women sit on one side and the men on the other. The roof is in need of repairs since old tin covering it, and it leaks constantly. One of our group's goals is to raise $8,000 to help them put a concrete roof on the church. Even with the extreme heat and mosquitoes everywhere, worship was amazing. Men and women of all ages rejoiced in singing and praising God. It was a God-filled and blessed experience. Monday through Thursday, we had VBS for ages 4 through 11 and sports camp for ages 12 through 22 in the mornings. VBS was based on Bible stories that focused on walking with Jesus. At the end of the 4 days, each were able to bring home a hand-painted backpack and a plastic cup. The sports camp was broken down into 6 teams, each designated with a specific color bandana. Each day was a different sport, learning specific skills for American football, kickball, volleyball, and of course their all-time favorite, shaving cream football. In preparation for volleyball, we made permanent volleyball poles for 3 volleyball nets for the school to use when we are gone. Once lunch and siesta time was over, our work schedule started for the afternoon. We painted classrooms, painted murals in classrooms, painted a mural on the front wall representing our church, painted the kitchen and made shelves for it also. A lot of work was also done on one of the houses for a COPA staff member. The evenings were filled with dominoes, card games, painting t-shirts, singing and praising God with the youth and young adults from the village. Even when the power goes out, we find ways to still socialize with them. Whenever we have any free time, we are either interacting with them in the village streets or in the COPA compound. The Bombita residents always greet you with a smile and open their hearts to you. On Friday, we took about 25 youth with us to the beach for the day. It was a wonderful way to wrap up the week. Since it was Connie's birthday, COPA staff and our group had a surprise party for her, which also turned out to be a farewell party for us, too. Connie brought up about 25 youth from La Jolla, and the music group from Bombita brought their instruments and sound equipment. Fermin spoke through an interpreter to our group, telling all the village that they look forward each year to our return. He said that our group is the only group that ever really gets involved heart and soul with them. He said that we are great examples of being the hands and feet of Christ. What a glorious way for us to conclude our week. We leave behind many friends there, and each of us are so blessed by how God works in our lives while we are there. We go to give, but return home with so much more. For the last 6 years, our church has partnered with COPA as we strive to reach out beyond our local church and community to make more and better disciples of Jesus Christ. Being a part of a mission team is one way we can do this, but another way is by sponsoring a child from La Jolla or Bombita. COPA's sponsorship program allows these children to attend school free of charge. It helps to provide their required school uniform, books, school supplies, and a hot meal each day. Without the sponsorship program, many of these children would not be able to attend elementary school, much less high school or even college. It costs $15 a month to sponsor a child. That's just 50 cents a day. In return, you will receive an opportunity to correspond with your sponsored child, pray for him or her each day, send small gifts with our mission team each summer, and the satisfaction that you are giving a child the opportunity to improve their chances at a better life. I hope you will consider being the hands and feet of Christ by sponsoring one of them. I would love to leave here today knowing that you have taken one of these children with you. Our summer mission trip this year is June 16th through the 23rd. We have once again been asked by the Bishop of the Episcopal Church of the Dominican Republic to coordinate the staff a youth camp in Bani. We will take 80 to 100 youth from Bombita and LaHoya for 4 days of camp experience. For some of the youth, it will be the first time they have running water or a bathroom in their room. It is very costly to do the camp, so we are looking for financial help as well as prayers. While you have watched these pictures, you got a glimpse of how this changes their lives as well as our own. Our church is so blessed to be a part of this mission outreach.